What's up, everyone? It is late night with Denise Salcedo, Speak Now Pro Wrestling, episode 13. We finally made it, everyone. I am so excited to be here tonight. Again, this is a later episode. As you guys all know, AEW went on after the NBA. And so it was a long night of wrestling, guys. Like, I'm going to say straight 4 hours. First, we had NXT. Then right after that, AEW. There were some pros and cons to this, obviously, and we will talk about this. First of all, I will say that the pros of these shows being on at different times is that they were on at different times. So I was able to focus on things a lot more than I usually am when I'm watching two shows at the exact same time. However, I will say that the con to this was that I was exhausted. By the time AEW started, I will say I felt a little bit drained, and we were going into our third hour of wrestling, so I was feeling a little bit more tired. But overall, like I said, some pros, some cons of having AEW and NXT, on the same night, just not at different times. But I'm really excited because today I have so much. Wow, my earring just fell live on the air, everybody. My earring just fell live on the air. So I'm just going to do the rest of this stream with one earring. So whatever, we're going to go with it. So this is episode 13, December 23rd edition. And I have been hyping this show up because a lot of you guys know this. I don't know how many of you guys know this, but this show, Speak Now Pro Wrestling, is named after Taylor Swift because of her Speak Now album. And it's also my favorite number 13. So I was very excited to get to this episode here today. So in honor of that, I do want to let you all know that at the end of this stream, so if you follow me on Twitter, you will know that I'm doing a giveaway on this stream. We're going to have 3 winners today that I will announce at the end of the stream. Basically, I'm giving away 3 $10 gift cards to shop AEW. And I cannot wait because we will be doing a live raffle at the end of the stream once we get more people in here and we get going. Overall, guys, go ahead and send in your thoughts on what you guys thought of the shows, both AEW and NXT. Let me know how you guys felt about it. Personally, I did think that both shows were decent today. I didn't think that either AEW or NXT blew me out of the water. I thought they were perfectly fine, but let's go ahead and see what you guys are all saying here today. So go ahead, send in your thoughts, and then we're going to go ahead and kick it off with AEW, break down the segments, and then we're going to get into NXT and we'll go from there. So what are you guys all saying? Let's start off with Kevin Yu. What's up, Kevin? Kevin says the AEW women's division is on one of the weak points. Hopefully the Shida and Abaddon feud gets people excited. Oh, we're going to talk about that later today. But to be honest, for me, there still needs to be a whole lot more work done with the AEW women's division. But I will say this, as much as there needs to be more work done on the AEW women's division, they are actually finally doing something with it. So we are seeing a little bit more be done than we were several weeks back. So I can't really complain all that much there. And so let's kind of go ahead and see what else you guys are saying. Jake Larson says that NBA game almost went to overtime. I was worried. I did too. I watched the last few minutes of that because I was waiting to see when AEW was going to start. I didn't want to be completely behind. So for a second, I did think that they were going to go into overtime. Literally, I think they were a point away from doing that. And Tano says, Denise, are you wearing a full Canadian tuxedo or just a jacket? Actually, I'm wearing a denim jacket and denim jean shorts, but it wasn't done purposely. It's actually finally getting a little bit colder here in California, and I just figured I'd go ahead and put this on here. We got our first super chat of the evening. By the way, if you guys do want to go ahead and send in any super chats at any point throughout this show, please feel free to do so. F4W lets me keep 100% of the proceeds after YouTube takes a cut, so it does really help me out when you guys send super chats. We have one from Evan Wright who's kicking us off here in episode 13. He says, Denise, I think AEW had the much better show. Like I said, guys, I didn't think that any one show today completely blew me out of the water. I would say that both of them were on par for me. But yeah, AEW had a lot that they did on tonight's show, and we will talk about that as well. The Payton Show says NXT is all right. Patrick Della Pena says solid show. Love AEW. Lots of great stuff coming. And Christopher Strike Strike Leather says both shows were good. Yeah, I agree. And that's what I like too. Like, I like it when both shows are good because it gives me something to look forward to. Matthew Makovsky says January is looking like a promising month for wrestling. AEW shows, Tokyo Dome, NXT, Hard to Kill, Royal Rumble. Holy Mother of God, what a time to be a wrestling fan. What a time to have a wrestling podcast too, am I right? We're going to have a lot to talk about these few days, next month for sure. It kind of feels like I'm definitely already in holiday mode. So I am feeling a little like lazy-ish. I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but I definitely feel it. Jake Larson says both shows were set up shows for upcoming bigger shows. Yeah. Both AEW and NXT were definitely, promoting their New Year shows and all of that. We have another super chat from Dagon S. Broad who says, "Hi, Denise. I just want to throw some support for the show. Happy holidays." Dagon, I truly, truly appreciate you sending over this super chat. You are awesome. Carlos Mendez says, "The Butcher and the Acclaim and Top Flight really looked great today." John Shavat says, "2 great shows tonight. Really looking forward to the next few weeks for both shows." The Payton Show says, "There's so much going on." And Wrestling Fandom says, "NXT needs to stop with their overrun." Yeah, I wasn't feeling that overrun today. I really wasn't. But guys, let's go ahead and break in the show. We're going to start off with AEW, and then we're going to go ahead and get into NXT. As a reminder, as I'm talking about things, please send in your chat because this is a very interactive show. So I will be reading all of your thoughts on each and every single thing as we kind of go through. So let's kick it off. AEW started again after the NBA today. So they did start later than they usually do. But the opening match was Top Flight versus Jericho and MJF. So right off the bat, I will have to say that I thought this match was a fun match. It was a little sloppy, but it was fun nonetheless. I like the consistency that we've been getting as of late with Top Flight. We've really just been introduced to these guys on AEW Dynamite for maybe a couple of weeks now. It hasn't been, they're new to the roster, essentially. We're barely getting to know them. And I like the fact that we have been getting to see them each and every single week consistently. And I feel like they are getting better and better each and every single week, where I find myself being a bigger fan of Top Flight this week than I was when they may have made their debut. We did have MJF and Jericho winning this match, but it really didn't matter because Top Flight is, again, they're improving. And I also love seeing the combination of both MJF and Jericho working together in a tag team. After this match, we did have Jake Hager basically cut a promo saying that he thought that Wardlow was the only member of the Inner Circle that essentially wasn't really like meeting his ends. He wasn't winning matches. It's been gone because of family business and all of that. So they are going to be having a match next week, Jake Hager and Wardlow. And all I got to say is this. Unfortunately, guys, I hated this promo by Jake Hager. I thought it was awful. I was not buying it whatsoever. So I kind of wasn't a fan of this. But what did you guys all think of Top Flight, Jericho, MJF, the match that we're seeing next week and all of this? So send in your thoughts and I'll go ahead and start reading them here. All right, so let's kick it off with the Payton Show, who says, Top Flight are the future of tag teams. Yeah, dude, I mean, they're pretty awesome. They've been doing some great stuff. Matthew Makovsky says, Top Flight, Acclaimed, and Private Party are the next generation version of the Prophets, New Day, and the Usos. Christopher Strike Leather says, as much as I like the match, I like what happens afterwards with Hager calling out Wardlow. See, I liked, when was it? I think like a week or 2 weeks ago. I don't even remember when they had that little moment between Wardlow and Jake Hager. I did think that was funny because it came across as, oh, it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. I liked that. I liked that little exchange that they had, but I wasn't really feeling it this week, guys. I was a little bit not really interested. Dagon S. Broad says, Top Flight are definitely guys to watch over the next couple of decades. Huge star potential. And they definitely have to keep going with it, guys. I don't want to see happen to them or happen to the Acclaim, sort of what we've been seeing with Private Party, where Private Party got this, they got this great opportunity with the Young Bucks and all of that, but there was never any really follow-up to them. And they sort of just kind of got slotted on that roster. And they still do, they still have great moments, but nothing really came about their whole situation with the Young Bucks. Phil Diner agrees with me, and he says, Hager is a terrible promo. Oh man, I like Hager, but yeah, this one wasn't it for me. Really wasn't it for me. Jake Larson says, not only athletic as hell, but top flight are really nice kids. Met them this summer. Get to know them. They always are nice people. Wrestling Fandom says the Dynamite opener was fun. I think Hager is supposed to be rough around the edges and everything he does in ring and promo. Wait, is this supposed to? Okay, it's Wrestling Fandom. Were you being sarcastic in this, or were you being legit? I can't tell on your comment here. I feel like you're being sarcastic. I don't know. I can't read the tone of this. Let's go ahead and get into the next match, guys. So that was Top Flight and Jericho MJF. Again, fun opener, a little sloppy, but still fun. Really looking forward to what they're going to do with Top Flight. And again, how this whole Inner Circle storyline is just going to continue to progress. After this, we did have a music video by the Acclaimed. I was a fan of this. I loved the music video with the Acclaim that they did. I mean, it was a little short, but I didn't care. My favorite part was when they said that they were turning the young bucks into young boys. I thought that one little line was really, really funny. So it made me laugh. Personally, I would like to see more of this, like each and every single week or like every other week. I would love to get like music video segments with the Acclaimed because I really like this. I was a fan of this. I thought it was really cool. So how did you guys all feel about this? Send them in. Let me know what you guys all thought of this. Would you like a weekly version of the Acclaimed music video? I feel like I would. In the meantime, I'm going to read this comment from Christopher Steichleather, who says, Hager isn't good promo, but two big guys beating each other up, furthering the trouble within the Inner Circle. Yeah, pretty much. MCAS Pedo 64 says, Wardlow Hager is going to be brutal. Promo was average, no big deal. You just hating on Wardlow. Wait, I wasn't hating on Wardlow. I was hating on Jake Hager. I'm not hating on Wardlow. I said one bad thing about Wardlow like 5 weeks ago, and that definitely stuck with me here. Hushberger says, will we get a Denise music video next? Girls just want to have fun. Guys, I sang in public yesterday, and my life is really, truly never going to be the same ever again. That was, took a lot of courage for me to do. We'll just leave it at that. We'll really just leave it at that. Razor Gem 555 to 666 says, what? You like something from AEW? Wow, Denise. What the heck? When did I become an AEW hater, guys? Look, let me set the record straight here, okay? Because I see a lot of misconceptions, all right? So first of all, I have come on here and I've said plenty, like this is my 13th show. I have said plenty of amazing things about AEW. I don't understand where this whole thing of me barely saying something positive about AEW is coming from. I did a whole show where I talked about AEW for like 50 minutes and I said a bunch of great stuff about AEW. So, but that doesn't mean that I can't say that I don't like something, okay? You can say that you don't like something and still like other stuff on the show. You do not have to like 100% of the show, all right? I can come on here and say, you know what? 70% of this show sucks. 50% of this show sucks. 30% of this show sucks. Every week it's gonna change, all right? So I don't know where this is coming from. Razor Gem 555 to 666. Oh, God. Anyways, but there we go. I definitely do think that this was pretty fun, and I would like to see it. Although we do have somebody who says that it was lame. The Peyton Show, that was lame. And you know what, the Peyton Show? I'm not going to get mad at you because you're allowed to say that you don't like. I'm not going to come on here and say, oh, you don't like anything just because you thought something was lame. God, we need to get rid of that stigma, guys. We need to get rid of that. If you don't like one thing, all of a sudden you don't like the entire thing. I'm done with that. I am done with that. We have an All Elite Wrestling says, thanks, Denise. Corey Thomas says, I tried NXT tonight for the first time in months. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll watch next week. It's not bad. I just found it boring. Anyone else the same? See, again, here we go, guys. Some things are not for everybody. It's the same thing goes with NXT. There's been times where I've come on here several times and I said, dude, I wasn't a fan of this. There was a lot of things that I wasn't a fan of for today's show. Does that mean I don't like NXT? No, that is definitely not what it means whatsoever. Like I said, you can come on here and you can say things that you do or do not like. It doesn't matter. And Jeanette Latore says, what are people talking about? You're always neutral. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Oh man, guys, I'm gonna start getting the whole she's on somebody's payroll. You know, that hasn't happened to me yet, so maybe I will get it down the line. Faustino Vargas says, come on, guys, Denise just wants to have fun. That's all she really wants. Faustino Vargas, thank you so much for sending in a super chat. It is really appreciated. I truly appreciate that. And Zane Miller also says that he loved the music video. And then someone says that was actually the official AEW YouTube page. Dude, hold on. So it really was? I really wasn't sure. Okay, so am I being watched? Should I like fangirl right now? Like, what should I do? I don't know. I can't tell on this, guys. I really can't. But thank you so much to Austin NY28 for letting me know. Black Viper says, hey, it's okay to criticize AEW. I like a lot of things, but they need to improve too, grow as a company. Yeah, and it's the same thing with both companies, guys. All right, let's just get real. Okay, so after the Acclaimed music video, let's go into the segment, the first segment that they had on the show after their first match, which was the Tony Schiavone with Sting interview. So go ahead and send in your thoughts, how you guys felt about this, and I'm going to kind of go run through what happened on this. So essentially, we had Tony Schiavone bring out Sting, and Sting comes out, and he basically talks about why he's here at AEW. So it's sort of a similar question that he had already been asked, but he sort of, elaborated on that a little bit more and talked about Dusty Rhodes. He basically talked about the big break that Dusty gave him, the opportunity that he gave him with his character. He even did the voice, gave us a very nice visual of this and said that he needed to be part of AEW because, dude, it's Cody's Dusty's offspring. So he goes ahead and talks about how he needed to be part of this, mentions the jungle, wants to be part of the jungle again. And Sting is about to address Darby, who's up at the rafters. Wow. Who's watching him. But before he does that, before he gets to Darby, we have Taz interrupt him. And guys, God, I loved this segment with Taz. Taz has consistently been one of my favorite things on each and every single AEW Dynamite, okay? Every time that he comes out, he says something that I think rings really true to the audience, or at least it rings really true to me. So he comes out and he first says that he's tired of hearing it's Sting and he's so over and done with that. And that was one of the things that we talked about last week, where a lot of us here may have felt that we were sort of over the whole, okay, let's not keep doing the whole it's Sting thing. Like the first moment it felt genuine and now it's just sort of being overplayed. We discussed this last week. And then we have Taz come out, and then Taz comes out and he basically says he's tired of this. And he says he has 4 guys that are completely ready to destroy Sting. I love this. I thought it was great. And then we had the lights go down. The lights come back up and Darby is in the ring with his skateboard alongside Sting, who has his bat. And then all of a sudden Taz starts getting, a little quack, quack, a little chicken, and, doesn't want to essentially go out there. Although Brian Cage does. Brian Cage did still want to go out there and fight, but it isn't going to happen. But instead, January 6th, we are getting Darby versus Brian Cage for the TNT Championship. And I am very much looking forward to that because I really do think that the TNT Championship should definitely have guys. I mean, we already have Darby as champion, but it should definitely have challengers like Brian Cage. So I liked where this whole situation was going. So what did you all think about this? We're getting several comments on this, so let's see what you are all saying. All right. John Shabbat does have a comment about the Acclaimed music video. He says, I think a weekly video from the Acclaimed rapping whatever their opponents are would really be good. Yeah, I agree. Dagon says, it's still pretty surreal seeing Sting on TV in 2020. It really is. Patrick Della Penna says, AEW trying to get you on the payroll, watching the show. Patrick, at this point, look, I will sell out for the money. Anyone who wants to get me on their payroll, hit me up. @_ Denise Salcedo. I will get on your payroll. Guys, I need Christmas money. I got a lot of siblings. Got to buy gifts. And Frankie Aponte says, same thing last week and mostly likely next week. Is this in regards to the Sting segment? And Vesh Reddy says, I liked it, but I feel like Sting is being overused, appearing every week. I think that was one of the things we definitely touched on last week, where because last week he just came out, pointed the bat, looked around, and I know some people were like, okay, is that it? But then other people are like, that's what Sting is known for doing, for what he's known for doing. And I know we had some people on here say that either A, he comes out and has something to do each and every single week, or is held off as more of a special appearance. So I think it really just depends on the person. The Peyton Show says, every time Sting comes down the ring, it still blows my mind. This was one of my favorite moments of the show. And that's the beauty about Sting, guys, is that he has that thing where, and that's why it was such a big deal when he came into AEW, because he has that thing, like you just said, the Peyton Show just said, doesn't matter if he comes down the ring, automatically your mind is blown. Little stingers remain little stingers for the rest of their lives. John Shavak says, this was a good promo, but I think it's gotten to the point where we need to see Sting do more. Wrestling Fandom says, really like the Sting Team Taz segment this week. They are finally moving ahead with some concrete storyline. 100% agree. I 100% agree. Christopher Strikeleather says, personally, I think Darby is going to beat Cage next week. The rest of Team Taz tries to beat up Darby. Sting makes the save, this beginning the Sting and Darby mentorship. Yeah, I think this was the week where I finally feel like we're actually moving towards the Sting Darby partnership, because I think for a couple of weeks, we still really weren't sure, like, is he against Darby? Is he with Darby? We didn't really know for sure, but I think now we definitely get that. Frankie Aponte says, chickens go quack, quack. I thought they went moo. Dude, apparently I don't know animal sounds, so we're going to move on. Buddha Club says, Team Taz is missing a badass female talent. You could never do bad with a badass female talent. I'll tell you that right now. Chris Cage 2X says, possible tease of a Sting and Darby management alliance. And we have another super chat. Thank you so much to the special without Brett Davis. He says, can you send some holiday love to my best friend, Darren? He loves the show and he's having a hard time this Christmas. First of all, thank you so much for sending in the super chat. It's truly appreciated. Secondly, Darren, thank you so much for being a fan of the show. And I really hope that whatever you're going through, that you get through it. And I just send you lots of positive vibes. And thank you so much for being a fan of the show, Darren. All right, guys. And Tanol says, maybe it's the audio mix, but it feels like Ovation has been dwindling for each Sting appearance. You know what? I didn't really notice that, so I won't comment on that just because I really did not notice that at all. And Zane Miller says, I like the segment, and once again, Taz is one of the best promos on the show. Dude, Taz has been killing it consistently every week, and the part of the reason for that is that he comes out and he actually has a purpose. Like, he has a purpose. He has a focus on what he's talking about. It's not just repeating stuff over and over. No, he just he really does have a point every time he comes out. All right, everyone. So there you go. That was the Tony Schiavone interview with Sting. We do have another super chat. Guys, you guys are blowing me up with super chats. I'm so happy because, again, I love money. iChurch Pastor Blaster says, Merry Christmas. I know you're not a fan, but God bless you, sis. I'm a fan. Look, I said Christmas was overrated once on one podcast, and it's sticking with me, guys. It really is sticking with me. But thank you so much to iChurch Pastor Blaster for sending in a super chat. Okay, guys. So after this segment, we had another segment with MJF, and here we go. We're just gonna start to peel some layers here to this onion, because MJF has a heart-to-heart with Santana about death. Tells him he knows he lost somebody in his life, talks about how he lost his grandfather. He shakes hands with him, and he shakes hands with Ortiz as well. And then afterwards, he sort of wipes away his tears, but it doesn't come across as fully genuine. So part of you has to wonder, is MJF playing them here? Was this all part of a secret plan? I don't know, but this left me wondering if MJF was sincere or not. We do have a comment from Razor Jam 555266. He says, Taz's character is so 3D because he is badass tonight and funny on AEW Dark. iChurch Pastor Blaster also says, I thought the MJF segment was everything. It was a pretty good one because, like I said, you couldn't really read his emotions. I couldn't tell if MJF was being genuine or not. And I like that because you're sort of left wondering, what is he doing, I like this. And iChurch Pastor Blaster also adds, Dynamite was a really solid show and moved some things along. And guys, it was a holiday show. We gotta think about this too. Like, it's holidays right now. People are, out shopping, and believe it or not, even during COVID, people are out shopping, doing their thing. They also started later because of the basketball game. So there is a lot of factors, going up against them and whatnot. We have another super chat. Wow, guys, I'm really lucky today. Jaden Wiggins says, it's because of my number 13. It's my lucky 13 show. Jaden Wiggins says, haven't seen either show yet. Been too busy with Christmas stuff. See, guys, I told you. Just stop by to say Denise rules. Jaden Wiggins, thank you so much for sending in some love, some super chats. And I told you guys, people are doing Christmas stuff. See? Well, at least he made it onto my show. I'm very, very happy to hear that. Brandon Charles Powell has a comment. He says, it's a slow burn with MJF and the Inner Circle. I love it. I like that too, Brandon, because I feel like there were several weeks where we got so much from the Inner Circle and so much good stuff. And now it's sort of slowing down, right? It's sort of slowing down. But I think we're still getting little peaks of that. And that's the cool thing, because MJF's personality, Jericho's personality, you're going to get in Santana and Ortiz, Sammy. They all bring something different. So I thought it was a very good combination of different personalities. So yeah, I completely agree with you. A nice slow burn, you can say. Tanol says, with Santana in ring gear in that segment, I thought he was going to show up sometime a bit later on that show. I didn't think that. I think probably because I just figured he's going to be in his ring gear. I don't know, but I really didn't think that. We have a really nice comment from Kim who says, thank you for being such a positive role model for younger girls. Kim, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. D-Train Riot Maker says, Santana and Ortiz need to start wrestling and not just be in segments, just saying they deserve better. Dude, I mean, I've talked about Santana and Ortiz needing more each and every single week of my life because they are my favorite tag team. So yes, I am always in the mood to see them do stuff. I would love to see them, in matches with the Acclaimed or with Top Flight, or, just all of that. I would love to see that. Let's move on, guys. So the second match of the night was Colt Cabana, Dark Order with numbers 5 and 10 versus Jurassic Express. By the way, guys, Tully Blanchard stole my gimmick. Tully Blanchard stole my gimmick. 2 weeks ago, I accidentally called Jurassic Express Jurassic Park. And then the next week I called them, I think I called them Lucha Express, all because I couldn't remember. And then today, Tully Blanchard called them Jurassic Park. And I don't think that was done purposely. I could be wrong, but I don't think it was done purposely. Thank you so much to Matthew Makovsky, who says, send in a super chat as well and says, Denise Rules made my day after she retweeted me. I'm very active on Twitter, guys. Hit me up. I will retweet you if you tweet me some good stuff. If you tweet me some good stuff, I will definitely give you some love. Eagle Eye Construction says, Eagle Eye Construction became a YouTube member. Eagle Eye, thank you so much for becoming a member here at F4W Online. We welcome you. Thank you so much for becoming a new member. Also, guys, if you haven't subscribed already to F4W Online here on the YouTube channel, please subscribe, guys. Subscribe. This channel, it's so much fun. There's so much content being posted on here. So much, from Brian, Dave, and Mike, and just everybody. So make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. And we do have another super chat from Brandon Charles Powell, who says, here's some Christmas money. Take care of your siblings now. Oh my God. I hope they're not watching the show because they're going to expect that money. But Brandon Charles Powell, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the love. I really, really appreciate it. Daganas Bree says, AEW is watching, Denise. Well, apparently they were just in my chat. So yeah, Tully Blanchard stole my line. Oh, I got a bone to pick with them now. All right, let's move on. So we had Colt Cabana, Dark Order, 5 and 10 versus Jurassic Express. Not Jurassic Park, not Lucha Express. This match, it was decent. I didn't think it was anything out of this world, but it was a much, much needed win for Jurassic Express, especially on AEW Dynamite on TV. And I'm even happy that they had, this post-match promo where Tony Schiavone basically, wanted to talk to them. We haven't heard from them in a while. So it was really nice. I mean, even though we just had Marco Stunt say that, they were happy to be back on Dynamite, that was it. I did like that they actually added that because it made it feel more important that, hey, these guys are back on TV, and why they're not on TV each and every single week is beyond me. But I am very excited that they're on again, and I want to see them stay on all the time. After this, we had a second segment, which included Kenny Omega and Don Callis. And what did you all think about this? Because I know this was something that we discussed a couple weeks ago, where we kind of felt like we were getting the same thing from Kenny Omega and Don Callis. But personally, I think that today's promo was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I like the Kenny Omega that we're seeing, the very, I don't know what's the word, luxurious, the fancy blazers. He's got the rings on. I mean, the guy is looking like $1 million. So overall, good stuff. I'm very excited to see what they're going to do next with them and just kind of keep furthering this all along. And he had some really good one-liners in this as well. So if you guys had any thoughts on this, go ahead and send us in. We do have a comment from Matthew Makovsky who says, give me Marco versus Tully in a 60-minute Iron Man match. Oh, God. Daganes Broad says, Don and Kenny need to, but their damn masks need to put their damn mask back on. What a couple of heels. That's the easiest way to get some heel heat in 2020. Take your mask off. People will be pissed. Trigger Durati says, Jurassic Express looked like they did when AEW started, and I'm here for it. I love the creative tag team moves. Oh, dude, that's my favorite thing. So probably I'm going to think maybe sometime, I think last year when I was working on X-Pac 1-360, we had Luchasaurus on. We had Luchasaurus on, and he was basically talking about the fact that he and Marco Stunt, they have so many ideas and creative, they basically had so much ideas for moves that they can do together as a team that people hadn't even seen it all. And to this day, I don't think that we've seen all of these ideas that they as a team have, came up with. So I'm really excited to see what they continue doing as a team. And I just really think that Jungle Boy is fantastic. He was one of those guys where I said that if Impact and AEW, continue with this full-fledged promotion, I think that one of the guys that would benefit wrestling a lot of Impact talent on Impact would be Jungle Boy, because I think that he's going to continue to grow working with talent that, has more experience. And I'm really excited to see what they do with Jungle Boy down the line and also with Jurassic Express. Khaled Adams says, Don Callis is great in his role. Dude, I think we can talk about Don Callis being fantastic in his role each and every single week. But then he'll come on here and just, call me kid or something. And Kayla Adams says, I think Luchasaurus might go heel in 2021. Oh, I really like them as baby faces, though. I really, really do. John Shavak says, this was awesome. Kenny is living his gimmick, and Don Callis makes every segment feel bigger with his promos. Dude, he feels larger than life. Him and Kenny feel larger than life. And it's not every day that you get a wrestler and a manager, or a wrestler or an act, whatever you want to call them, that they feel larger than life. Okay. And that's one of my favorite things about wrestling is when a wrestler, when a character, when a persona can really come across as larger than life. And Jake Larson says, at every live show I was at before the pandemic, Luchasaurus and Orange Cassidy were the most over with the crowd. Dude, Orange Cassidy has continued to get over with the crowd non-stop. All right, guys, let's move on. So after this, we did have the Butcher versus Pac. Okay, here we go. Remember I said I wasn't going to, not going to come on here and tell you guys I like everything. You all know that I love the Butcher and the Blade, and I also like Pac and all of this. This match for me, I didn't think it was very good. I did love that Black Arrow by Pac, but that's about it. The match itself, I thought could have been a little bit better, to be honest. It could have been better. It was what it was. I did love that finish, though, with the Black Arrow. I was completely amazed. My jaw dropped. I loved it. And I did like the post-match stuff for this too. Archer and Pac basically, following up to the heat that they had, the little confrontation that they had the previous week because they both want to get at Eddie Kingston. And Eddie Kingston's just in commentary basically saying that they're never going to get the king. Quick and easy stuff. I liked it. It continued what we saw from the week prior. And I like this. But the actual match, I wasn't completely crazy about, to be honest. And Khalid Adams says, why does Butcher and Blade always lose matches? I can't give you an answer for that. I really can't. Jeanette Latour says, any suggestions on a booker to help AEW's women's division? Dude, I think there's a lot of things that could be done differently, but I also think that in order to get a division over or to make it, for something that the fans want to see, it's not just like one thing that has to be done. It has to be a lot of stuff that really need to be done. And we are starting to see that. We're seeing things be done where we're actually getting an emphasis on the women and we're actually getting an emphasis on the champion. Speaking of Shida, we're finally getting some action with her, but there still needs to be a lot more done. It needs to have, and there needs to be a lot more. And I've been on here for so many of these shows where I've said, oh, this is what needs to be done. This needs to be done, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? Slowly but surely, I'm hoping we get there. I really am. Oh my God. Traeger Girardi says, I was very distracted by the Butcher's sunburn. Traeger, I didn't know if he was sunburned or if it was my screen, but I did notice that right away. I was like, why is the Butcher so red today? I didn't know if it was just the color on my screen or if he was sunburned. I don't know, but I noticed that right away. So we don't know what really happened there. Stun64 says, I loved Eddie giving love to JR and telling Tony up yours as he was leaving. John Shabak says, Eddie and Tony were hilarious on commentary. I wouldn't expect anything less from Eddie Kingston in any sort of speaking capacity. After this, guys, okay, this was something else that I was not a fan of for this show. So to the person that said that I apparently don't say anything good about AEW, this is it, guys. This is your moment. The Jade Cargill's message to Brandy I thought was terrible. And like in the nicest way possible, I was not a fan of this whatsoever. I thought it didn't make sense. I personally didn't connect to this. I didn't think the delivery was good. I think she looks fantastic and wonderful, and I'm excited to see what she does down the line. But right now, I'm not feeling it whatsoever with this whole thing. So for me, this was a hard pass. If anybody else felt differently, let me know. Roberto Thornton says, Brian Alvarez looks different today. Brian Alvarez grew a pony, got some lipstick. Yeah, it looks very, very different today. And okay, it looks like people are in agreement with me. Kayla agrees with this statement, and so does the Paid-In show. So thank you. I'm not necessarily out alone on this one, but if anybody else did feel differently, go ahead and let me know, because I would love to know what you guys saw that maybe I didn't see on this one. So, but personally, yeah, this one was a very hard pass for me. It was not for me. It really wasn't. And Tanil says, I initially thought the Butcher was just red because he was breathing hard, but when he was like that the entire time, I thought he missed the timer on the tanning bed. Seriously. All right, guys, let's move on to, after this, we had the Kip Sabian, Penelope, and Miro segment. So this, okay, I didn't love this either. Okay. I loved what happened today on the show, but I think that the issue for me on this whole Kip Sabian, Penelope thing and Miro is that I don't feel like I've necessarily been given a reason to care about the wedding. I could be wrong, but do you guys have a reason why you care about this wedding? Personally, I don't. I really don't. There's been nothing to me that I'm like, oh my God, I'm really excited about this wedding. I'm not excited for this wedding. It's just there. It's just something that's going to happen. I'm not feeling it. I need a reason to care, guys. I need a reason. That's all I'm saying here. And to be honest, there was a couple weeks where I even forgot that the marriage thing was even happening. Like, I know it was always there, but I just don't think that there's been like a real reason for me to care. So I kind of just had it, in the background of things. But in this segment, they essentially came out, they pretend the best friends and Orange Cassidy are going to come out, but they don't. Instead, they show the footage of Trent being loaded into the back of an ambulance. So they essentially did something to him that's sending him off to the hospital. And they announced that the beach wedding will be taking place at Beach Break on February 3rd. So we officially have a date for the wedding. So let's see what you guys are all saying in regards to this whole situation. We do have a comment about... All right, I'm having a few of these comments. Okay, let's go back to the Jade Cargill thing for a second because we do have some comments about that. The Raging Archer HD says she has an amazing look and vibe to her, but promo work isn't there. Yeah, I think I have to agree with that. I mean, you're only going to get better with more practice, right? So, oof. Wrestling Phantom says, agreed, I have zero interest in Jade Cargill. And that doesn't mean we can't get the interest, but it's just not there just yet for me. And Jeanette also says, I wasn't either, but it was better than the last time. At least the delivery was a little more there. And then she does this. Yeah, I think I agree with you. Word Exclaim says, it made perfect sense for Jade to say what she said. Brandy obviously wasn't into that feud or angle. MCAS says Jade Cargill had to appear just to move the storyline further. It needs to be explained with Brandy pregnant. Yeah, because a lot of people did have question marks about that. And let's go back to the situation about the wedding. Traeger Girardi says, when is the bachelor party? Didn't they already have that? I felt like they had that. Didn't they do that already? Am I wrong here? Khaled Adams says, Miro needs to move on from this angle. Yeah, and it's going to be a little while too since the wedding is still about a month away. And anything else? Okay, MCAS says the wedding has to happen because it's going to go horribly wrong. I am excited for bad weddings, right? Any drama? I guess I'm here for it. Not too bad. Wrestling Phantom says Kip Penelope marrying on a show that Orange Cassidy is hosting. The absolute temerity. Pam K4 says, could anyone else not see the date when they put it on the screen? And the whole point of the segment was to announce the date. Yeah, you know what? I think I had to move my eyeballs a little bit to see that. And Go Heel Z07 says, nobody really cares about weddings that aren't their own. That's true in real life, right? Nobody ever cares about weddings unless they're their own. I care about weddings. I like weddings. And okay, we have a comment here from the Polished Jet who says that Sean Spears walking away from AEW. He left New York and now he might leave Florida. He did have a segment backstage with Tony Schiavone where he basically said that, he's very confident and he wants to be a big deal, sort of how he came into AEW with, some buzz and he, basically says he's not going in that direction anymore. And Tony Schiavone basically says, well, maybe you're the problem. So of course, Sean Spears gets pissed and basically says that he can work any place that he wants and says that he's going to come back when he feels like it. So this to me sounds like we shouldn't be seeing Sean Spears for a while, which is a little strange because I don't even think we were really seeing him all that much already. But before that, we did have a match with Dustin Rhodes versus Evil Uno. Dustin won. This match was fine. I mean, I didn't really have any. This match was just there for me, guys. I don't think I was really looking forward to it, but it was a little bit better than what I expected it to be. Personally, I would like to see Dustin Rhodes work with guys like, Ricky Starks or John Silver. I would prefer matches like that, but overall, it was fine. And, Sandro says that Sean Spears is going to Impact. Dude, why didn't I know that? Why didn't I know that? Where have I been? Where have I been? Seriously. Oh, man. All right. Well, that makes sense. There you go. Question answered. Thank you so much for sending that in. MCASP64 says Spears to Impact. When did this break? Where have I been? Have I not been here? Josiah McDonald says he's become a new YouTube member. Josiah McDonald, welcome to the family. Welcome. Hey, this is very exciting. I've gotten 2 new members on this stream. I'm going to be hitting up Brian and be like, hey, I got 2 people in here. What's up? Okay. And Dagon says, I love this match. Guess I liked it more than others. Amazing what Dustin can still do at his age. Dude, yeah, I completely agree with you. I really, really do agree with you on that one. That's why I think that having him work with guys, if he were to work with guys like Ricky Starks, like I just said, or John Silver, guys that are going to be like big potential, stars one day. I think that they would benefit a lot from working with Dustin. So that is why I agree with this whole amazing what Dustin can do, still do at his age. And everybody's asking about the Dustin thing. And anybody else here? All right, here we go. Let's move on, guys. Where am I at on this? All right, so after the situation with Shawn Spears, we did have the Hikaru Shida versus Alex Gracia match. And to be honest, this match was just a match. It was just there. Fine. We get some women's wrestling. Happy to see Hikaru Shida get a win. And I'm happy to see that they're furthering the storyline with her and Abaddon. I'm very happy about that. Like I said, we haven't had much focus on Hikaru Shida, and that has been a very, very big issue. And now we're starting to get the ball rolling in that direction. So I can't say too much, I'm not going to say anything negative just because at least we're finally going in that direction where we would like to see the AEW Women's Champion going. The only thing that I was not a fan of for this, and I'm going to say this because I wasn't a fan when they did this in WWE with Shayna biting Becky Lynch. And I wasn't a fan of them when they did it, and I wasn't a fan of it tonight when we had Abaddon bite Shida. I'm not interested in that. It just doesn't work for me, guys. It's too hokey. It's too like little kid stuff. I'm not interested in that. And I do think that with this character of Abaddon, I do think that she has to bring it to another level, because you have people like Su Yung and Rosemary on Impact, who personally I think are doing this role a lot better. So I do think that she sort of has to, kind of get up there with Su Yung and Rosemary on this one. So I'm happy that we're seeing Shida and Abaddon do something, but I'm not invested in this. But that is just me, to be honest, okay? Wrestling Fandom says, now that Abaddon has bitten Shida, does Shida turn into a zombie as well? You see what I mean? I don't know the rules to this, guys. I don't know the rules. Baycast Pito 64 says, Brody has been out due to injury, kayfabe. Maybe he makes appearance soon and destroys Dustin like he did Cody. Dude, I miss Brody. I miss Brody Lee. Where's Brody Lee? Bring him back. I miss the guy. I'm actually a big fan of Brody Lee and what he does. Matthew Makovsky says, now that Abaddon has been in Shida, does this mean that Shida is going to become a mother? Wait, are you saying that Becky Lynch became a mother because Shayna bit her? Oh my God. You guys have some imagination here. And Trigger Durati says, I'm mad that the announcers can't put in any effort towards putting the women's division over. Shida might be a zombie, but there was no emotion from the announce team, and JR couldn't care less. I think we've had that issue. Several different times with JR, unfortunately. You can tell when he doesn't like something or when he's not really into something, which is, interesting because you should really, be interested in what you're talking about. So, yeah. Alrighty. Let's move on, guys. After this, we had the Acclaimed versus the Young Bucks in the main event. This was perfectly fine. I said last week that I was happy that, the Acclaimed were getting a match against the Young Bucks because they're a young and up-and-coming team. They're ranked in the top 5, and they've been winning. So why not, be a nice competitors to the Young Bucks? The only thing that I will touch on this is that we knew for a fact that, the Acclaimed were going to lose. We knew that already. That's fine. We knew that. And I liked this match because they did a lot of different stuff in this match, and the Acclaimed looked really good. And then again, they had that rap video in the top, so it added to their character. Personally, I'm happy that this wasn't just a throwaway title defense, and they actually did a lot to showcase the Acclaimed. So I was a fan of this. Now I just hope that we do get some follow-up with the Acclaimed where they don't sort of go back to how like the Private Party was, where Private Party was getting, becoming a thing, and then they get this win, they do all this stuff with the Young Bucks, and then after that you sort of go back to nothing. I don't want to see that happen to the Acclaim, so I do hope we get to see some follow-up in terms of consistently seeing them on AEW Dynamite. And we've talked about their tag team roster being severely stacked in a great way, but I do hope that because we've already started to get the ball rolling with the Acclaims, I want to continue seeing that as we continue on. So there you guys go. That was AEW, and we still got to jump into NXT. And for those of you guys who are in here as well, I do want to remind you that before the end of the stream, I am going to be doing a giveaway. 3 people on this stream, or well, whoever entered, if you entered, your name is on here, BTW. So I'm doing a giveaway. 3 winners will be receiving one $10 gift card to shop AEW, just as a thank you, because again, this is my 13th episode, and 13 is my favorite number because I'm a Swiftie. You guys know that. And so I figured, hey, it's Christmas. Let's do something fun. I want to give you guys all, thanks for just coming on here, supporting my show. I've come on here and I've said so many times how thankful I am that you guys are even watching my show, that I'm even on F4W, guys. Like, it's a big deal for me to be on F4W, and I'm so thankful to all of you guys who come in here, who watch, who donate super chats, whatever it is that you do, whether you watch, give it a like, I don't care, whatever it is you come on and you support my stream, it really means a lot to me. So I just want to give back in like a little tiny itty bitty way, So we will be doing a random drawing at the end of the stream. And again, all your names are on here. If you retweeted, your name's in here. If you commented, you got an extra name thrown in here. And I wrote all of your names, handwritten myself before this stream. So I know like pretty much everybody I memorized all of your names of who went into this, but that's pretty much that. And Word Exclaim says, Taz might like to hear about your 13 being your favorite number. Seriously, right? And anything else? Okay. Let's go ahead and move on to NXT, guys, because NXT had a pretty good show as well. So also, before I continue on to NXT, I do want to remind you guys all not to forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at _ Denise Salcedo. My goal for Twitter is to get to 13K before the end of this year, and I have like 9 days to go, and I don't think I'm going to get there because I'm like 650-ish people away. So if you haven't yet followed me on Twitter, like go, because it's my sad, pathetic goal to get 13K by the end of this year. So yeah, at _ Denise Salcedo. But let's move on, guys. Let's kick it off with, well, not kick it off, but let's continue on to NXT. We had some great stuff happen on this show. They kicked it off with a street fight for the NXT Tag Team Championship belts. We had Killian Dane and Drake Maverick versus Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, the champions. I thought that this street fight was perfectly a great way to get the night started, especially when all eyes were on NXT. Nobody was out watching AEW because they weren't on yet. So people were, watching NXT, or at least I think they were. They did a really good job of utilizing the weapons in the street fight. And I like the fact that they got started off right away. So this was a really fun way to sort of, really kick off the show. I was surprised. There was a moment during this match where I was surprised that Killian Dane was thrown to the outside of the ring, and there were 2 tables waiting out there for him. He didn't break not one table. He slid off. So that was a pretty interesting spot, just because he's such a big guy. So you were expecting him to like smash through those tables, and it just didn't happen. I also love seeing Drake Maverick in these types of matches, because I think we all associate Drake Maverick with being this goofy sort of character, this goofy sort of wrestler, but instead we got to see this like hardcore Drake Maverick, and I liked it. I was such a big fan of seeing this Drake Maverick, and in the end we had Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch win. I thought it was a great win for them as a team, and overall a good match. And we have another super chat. Thank you so much to Jeanette Latore, who says 13 episode. Whoop, whoop. Happy holidays, Jeanette. Thank you so much for supporting my show, sending in a super chat. I am so thankful. Thank you so much to Jeanette. Thank you. I always feel like I don't give enough thanks to people who send super chats. Like, I feel like I need to go knock on your door and give you a cupcake or something, because I'm just so thankful. Dagon S. Broad says, poor Drake Maverick. I like Drake Maverick, but man, he's usually like that. He's usually like the butt of a joke, which is unfortunate, because I think I like Drake Maverick, and everything he does for me personally, he gets over with me all the time. Matthew Makovsky says, I riot that they didn't change hands. Killian Dane and Maverick could have been fun champions. Look, I like Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch as champions. They're a different type of champions. There are different types of champions that I think we definitely need here. And Christopher says, I don't know why, but I'm becoming a fan of Maverick and Killian Dane tag team. I think because they're fun. They're fun. They're fun team, and they get along in a unique way. So I think that's the reason why they're definitely getting over. John Shavak says, this was a great match. Those belt shots sounded so painful. Yeah, they did. It was a pretty cool moment. Cody Crane says, the Reign and Maverick relationship is a huge highlight for me. Love their tag moves destroying Maverick. Completely agree. Alrighty, everyone. Let's get into, so again, Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch did retain. Fun match. Check it out. After this, okay, so remember I said that there's things I love from each show and things that I do not like from shows. This is the one that I was not a fan of for NXT. So for NXT, the thing that I was not crazy about was the whole Gargano segment where they're opening their gifts with Indy Hartwell and Austin Theory in the nicest possible way. I'm just going to say it, guys. I'm just going to say it in the nicest possible way. Indy Hartwell and Austin Theory are kind of dragging down the Garganos in the nicest possible way. They don't necessarily have the type of comedic chemistry that I would like with the Gargano. So I'm not a fan of this, guys. Like, it feels too forced. I'm not falling in love with these characters that I'm seeing. Like, I love the Garganos. I think the Garganos are so fun, but I don't get the same feeling from Indy Hartwell and Austin Theory in these segments. Like, it just falls short for me on this one. I don't know if you guys okay, there we go. We got somebody who's totally opposite of me, and that's definitely okay. Word Exclaim says Indie wrestling is awesome. Yeah, that was a pretty funny moment. It was kind of funny, but I wasn't there for this one, guys. I really wasn't there for that one. I don't know if you guys felt differently about this. If you did, let me know. But I just think that the Garganos are better off on their own. Jake Larson says the Garganos do not need heaters. They can run the show on their own. Matthew Makovsky says these segments gave me the same vibe as Cody and Brandy last week. I thought maybe Candice was pregnant. Keep in mind it's quarantine. Matthew, oh my God. For like a split second, I thought the exact same thing. I was like, what if they're doing like a pregnancy thing? Like, might as well. We had 2 pregnancy announcements on AEW. Who knows? Maybe we'll get one on NXT. And like you said, it's quarantine. People are out. They're having fun, you know? People are having babies. Nicholas Jackus says, the Gargano segments are over the top, but are so funny that Johnny Gargano's way had me dying. Johnny is funny enough to make everyone around him good. See? You have a point there, Nicholas. I think you have a point there. So I'm not going to completely hate because I really do think that you have a point. Brandon Charles says, you said that in a very nice way. Guys, I don't know how to tell people, hey, I don't like something without sounding like I'm just like hating on everything, you know? Because then people will be like, oh, you hate everything. And I'm like, no, I don't. Like, you know, in a very nice way, I didn't like this. Yeah. All right, guys, let's move on. We had Isaiah Swerve Scott defeat Jake Atlas, and I'm just going to say the same thing that I said about this last week with Jake Atlas. Incredible talent. I'm tired of them acting like he's a newcomer. Stop making it seem like he's a rookie out of day one wrestling school. Like, the guy has been on your roster for like over a year now, I think, or about a year, somewhere around there. The guy has been consistently having great matches with so many people on NXT, with like practically the entire NXT roster. Stop making it seem like he's a newcomer. I really do think that they have so much with Jake Atlas. I love Jake Atlas, but now they need to give him some more character. They did give him a promo a couple weeks ago, but then after that, there wasn't really a follow-up. So I do think that they need to stop making it seem like he's brand new to this, okay? He's not brand new, okay? Let's just leave it at that. Then we had Rhea Ripley versus Dakota Kai, and we did have Rhea winning. And then after this, we had Raquel watching this match, and then there was this like big brawl between Rhea Ripley and Raquel, where like everybody and their mothers had to come in and essentially break them apart. So I love this too. First of all, I have been absolutely fond of the whole Raquel Rhea Ripley situation. Their storyline has been fantastic. Raquel has been getting over as this like powerhouse, beast, and she's really going head to head against Rhea Ripley, where Rhea Ripley has this very cool vibe, right? Like you look at her and you're intimidated by her. You're easily impressed by Rhea Ripley. She has star power written all over her, okay? So seeing Raquel go head to head against Rhea Ripley is coming across as very believable, very genuine, and I like them. I think they are a great match for one another, and they're both elevating each other in a very good way. By the way, welcome to BMA, who also became a YouTube member for F4W Online. What's up, BMA? Thank you so much for joining and becoming a member. That's awesome. Welcome to the family. So yeah, let's see what you guys are all saying here about this whole situation. Christopher says, I have to say, I'm a little intrigued with his potential Isaiah Swerve Scott heel turn. Yeah, I'm here for it, guys. Give the guys something. I'm here for it. Hushberger says Dakota is gold. Dakota has been holding her own, guys. She's been holding her own ground. She's not necessarily someone to look over. Yep, I agree. A Wrestling Fandom says, I loved how Kyle said Balor is the Johnny Gargano to his Adam Cole. Jake Larson says, I saw Jake Atlas versus Tessa like 2 years ago. Fantastic match. He's incredible, but they are just throwing him out there for matches with no story purposes. Exactly, Jake. Exactly. That's the thing. Thank you. You nailed it on the head. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Again, they need to give him more character, but they also need to give these matches a purpose. He comes out, you know that he's going to have a good match. Hooray. But what's next after that, right? What's next? So I completely agree with you on that one. And Christopher also says Raquel gets his vote as NXT Breakout Star of the Year. And it's hard to be a breakout star on NXT, especially because there is such a there's great talent on NXT. We know that already. So the fact that she's doing such a great job and they're actually pushing her in a good way, I like all of this. And Razor Gem says, I dislike how Dakota is in the middle of this. Unfortunately, it's not her moment. She's just there. Word Exclaim says Dakota kind of has to be involved. Matthew Makovsky says, I'm definitely thinking my dream scenario is going to become reality. Charlotte winning the title soon, Rhea winning Rumble or contender match. Rhea gets revenge against Charlotte at Mania. Thoughts, Denise? I don't hate this at all. If Rhea Ripley were to win the Royal Rumble, I would love that. I would love that so much. Like, I would love that. And I know that they're going to do something with her because when was it? God, when they did SmackDown, God, it wasn't after the draft. When they did the FS1 thing with Triple H and Stephanie, and I think it was Kayla maybe, or somebody asked Triple H, like, who do you think is going to be like the future of WWE, blah, blah, blah. And his answer was Rhea Ripley. And I'm like, dude, like, this has been a while and you're still like saying Rhea Ripley. Like, that is a great thing because it gives me hope that they're still going to do something with her. And she's getting herself over, guys. Like I said, she's getting herself over with her personality. Tanil says, Pat McAfee winning breakout star 100% in my opinion. Pat McAfee, everything he did with Adam Cole, War Games, and everything he did with Undisputed Era, all the promos that he's cut, he's definitely not someone to, pass up on. I completely agree on that too. And righty. So after this, we had Bronson Reed versus Ashante the Adonis. This was a quick squash match, and I'm kind of surprised that they actually chose somebody like the Adonis, Ashante the Adonis, to have squashed. This was a good win for Bronson Reed, though, because, again, Bronson Reed is actually one of my favorite guys on NXT because I like what he does in the ring. I think he comes across as very impactful, but there hasn't really been much done with him. So I did like this win for him. Wasn't a great moment for Ashante the Adonis, but it was a really good one for Bronson Reed. We have a comment from Nicholas Jackus who says, Rhea versus Raquel has been one of the best rivalries in all of wrestling this year. You can feel the ring about to explode when they are in it. Yeah, that whole pull apart at the end, I thought felt like a very big deal. And you only do pull aparts, I think, or you should only do pull aparts when it's like a feud that is, next level. And I think that one's next level. After this, we had Io Shirai calling out Toni Storm, but instead we had Mercedes Martinez come out and attack Io Shirai. A reminder that Mercedes Martinez was formerly in Retribution and got removed, so now she's here. NXT, she's beating up Io Shirai. How did you all feel about this? Were you guys into this? Were you not into this? I personally was indifferent. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It kind of feels to me like they're already doing their thing with Io Shirai and Toni Storm, so I necessarily didn't think that having Mercedes Martinez just come in here and like get herself involved was like the best thing. But at the same time, I guess it adds a little something to it. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't love this. I didn't hate this whatsoever. And Wrestling Phantoms has a funny comment, says, not feeling Bronson's new haircut. I didn't even notice his new haircut. Oh man, that's really bad. Word Exclaim says, Mercedes Martinez is back. And Hushberger says, better than Retribution. I think anything's better than Retribution. Christopher says, Mercedes returns, another woman added to its stacked division. Yeah, really. And I do think that the NXT women's division is perfectly fine. They don't even need to add to it. It's perfectly fine. Now let's work on that Raw women's division. Let's add a little bit more to the SmackDown women's division. I mean, they already have Bianca Belair, and they still need to do a lot with her there. But yeah. And we have a comment from Jake Larson who says, I love Mercedes Martinez her prior work, so I'm biased because she is really good. They haven't shown her enough yet. John Shavak says, Rhea versus Raquel should be a WrestleMania match. We're almost there, guys. We're only a couple of months away from WrestleMania, which feels crazy to even think that. And crazy to even think that Royal Rumble's already next month. Wrestling Fandom says, I'm so glad that Mercedes Martinez is back in NXT. Mia Yim has been punching air right now. Still stuck in being reckoning. I thought about Mia Yim right away. It's unfortunate. Yeah, I feel bad for her. And she's doing she did that whole like seizure mosquito bite. I don't even know what she did that 1 week on Raw. I don't even want to get into that. Matthew Makovsky says, oh dear, I have another possible scenario. Io loses the title ASAP. Io wins Rumble. Asuka versus Io. Or Charlotte wins title. Charlotte versus Io. Ugh, I'm so intrigued. Yeah, I guess anything can happen, guys. Anything can happen. After this, we had Timothy Thatcher versus Leon Ruff. And I didn't think they were going to have Leon Ruff win this match. But they did. And here's the thing, though, is that I was a fan of what they were doing with Leon Ruff. I was like one of the few people that were actually liked what they were doing with Leon Ruff. I had hopes for Leon Ruff. And unfortunately, those hopes went down the drain. And personally, I think that they really, if they're going to give, so after his match with Timothy Thatcher, they did say that he's going to have a rematch with Johnny Gargano. And the thing is that if they're going to do this with him, I really do think that they need to make him a credible opponent. With them essentially making it seem like, oh my God, he accidentally got this win. No, they need to give him a clean, credible win against somebody like Timothy Thatcher for us to take him seriously in having this rematch with Johnny Gargano. That was my one issue. They need to stop hammering the fact that he's an underdog. Stop doing that. Build the guy up. Give him potential. He's good in the ring. He's getting there. So I don't see why he always has to be like the, oh my God, he barely just made it, guy. BTW, welcome to Daniel Kearney, who also just became a YouTube member. What's up, Daniel? Welcome to the F4W family. Thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. I love this, guys. We're getting so many members today. This is so cool. I really, really appreciate that. Razor Jab says it's the 4th member. BTW, if you haven't subscribed to F4W Online on their YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe. Let them know Denise brought me here so that I can feel special. And all right, guys. So let's move on. After this, we also had Arya Daivari versus Tyler Rust. And I gotta say, so I'm happy about this for Tyler Rust because they paired him up with Malcolm Bivens. And I think that was such a great call because Tyler Rust is good in the ring, but he does need a little help with the promo work, the character stuff. And nobody is better than that than Malcolm Bivens for him. He can definitely get a lot of benefits from this pairing with Malcolm Bivens, and I am a fan of this. I like this. This match was fine, but I did really like the win. I did like the finish for this match. I thought it was a really good win for Tyler Rust. So good stuff. And it looks like they have a lot of hope riding on Tyler Rust. They're actually giving him a lot of opportunities. He only just recently signed with WWE, and we've already been able to see him a lot, which I think is pretty cool. And then after this, we had the main event, which was Adam Cole versus Velveteen Dream. Oh, first of all, I was not happy that they reminded us on commentary about the backlot brawl these two guys had, because I thought that backlot brawl was awful. Just awful. I wasn't crazy about this, guys. I'm still not like, I hate to be that person, guys, but I'm still not comfortable with Velveteen Dream in like the nicest way possible. I'm not that crazy about it. I don't understand why right away he's back from he's back and already he's in the main event. I don't get it. I'm not here for it. I'm out on this one. I'm sorry. Not feeling it. Adam Cole won, and that was about it. Dream was overselling to like always, but I was really kind of annoyed with the way he was selling the figure four leg lock. I felt like he was selling like they were chopping his legs off, okay? But this is probably just because I'm like not that big of a fan of Velveteen Dream. So I'm probably just like hating, but seriously, guys, I was a pass on this one. Hushberger, I think he says it. He lost all his steam. He really did, guys. I'm just not comfortable with all of that stuff that was seen on social media personally. I'm really just not here for it. I'm not here for it. So there you guys go. That was both the shows, both AEW and NXT. There was a lot of good stuff on both shows. So I'm glad that we had good stuff on both shows, because it was a long night in wrestling. It was like 4 hours straight. So I'm happy that I got to like really pay attention to both shows, because watching both shows at the same time, sometimes you're bound to miss things. But yeah, Zane Miller says, I so agree about Dream. He's such an afterthought. It's unfortunate. He had something, but dude, yeah, he got it. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that, guys. I'm not going to get into that anymore. And all right. So BTW, by the way, thank you so much to everybody who's staying up late with me, by the way, because somebody just brought up the point that it is about past 1 a.m. for some of you guys in the East Coast. For me, it's still 10 because I'm in the Pacific. I'm in the West Coast. So for me, it's still pretty early. But for those of you guys who are watching down in the East Coast, thank you so much for staying up late and like listening to me. So thank you so much for that. It is now time to do my giveaway. Yes, exactly. Matthew Bukowski brought it up. It's now time for the giveaway. So I mentioned at the top of the stream that I would be giving away 3 $10 gift cards to Shop AEW. So first of all, if you're on here and you're like, what the heck? I didn't get to enter, Denise. Like, what? Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, because that is where I post so many giveaways, guys. Like, all the time I have giveaways. So we're going to go ahead and do this. So what I did is, if you entered on Twitter, if you retweeted and you did all the rules and all of that, your name was put into this little like posted thing. And if you commented, I did say that you would get bonus entries. So you did. If you commented, you got a bonus entry. So if you retweeted and commented, you got your name is in here twice. If you just retweeted, your name is in here once. So either way, we're going to go ahead and do this. And I separated them into 3 baggies so we can do like 3 different rounds. So you don't even know what bag your name is in. I'm going to read off the winner. And then afterwards, I'm going to reach, if that person isn't on here on the stream, that's fine, because I'm going to hit them up on Twitter and let them know that they won, because a lot of people watch the show afterwards, or they listen to the audio version, whatever it is. They got time, because I will hit them up. So here we go, guys. Let's do this. It's now time for our raffle. And this is my first live raffle, so hopefully I don't screw this up. But here we go. I'm going to pour in the first bag here. I'm going to need 2 hands for this, guys. Give me a second. Oh, God. Already messing up the first live raffle, guys. Don't tell anybody. I don't want to get fired. All right, I'm going to mix these names up here. By the way, thank you so much to Julie Schwinden, who says, you're really cool and know your stuff. It's nice to see women cover wrestling. I know. I'm so happy. I'm very happy to be here. Colette Adams says, Denise, what's it like to work with Brian? Well, you know, it's kind of crazy, because I've always been a fan of F4W. I've always been a fan of Brian and Dave and Mike and Vinny and just everybody, right? Like always been a fan. So like for them to say like, hey, you could have a show on our platform, your very own show, and you can do whatever you want, was really an honor, and it really validated like everything that I've done in my career thus far. For them to say like, hey, you're like on here, you know, like you're allowed. All right, guys, let's do this. So I'm going to close my eyes so you guys know that I'm not cheating here. And I'm going to pull out a name. And this is going to be our first winner. So I'm trying to make sure I get one only. Do I have just one? Okay. Do I have two? Okay, I have one. Okay, here we go. The first winner is at Mac McNaught. 123. Congratulations to Mac McNaught. 123. He is our first winner for the $10 AEW shop gift card. So congratulations to Mac McNaught 123. He is our first winner. And Charisma32 says I should have done a drum roll. Dang, I should have done a drum roll. Oh God. And okay, so good job to Matt McNaught 123. And we are moving on to the next one, guys. So give me a second. Here we go. We're on to the next bags here. And we will do the next round. And this one is going to be for the next gift card. Again, we have 3 winners. Matthew Makovsky knows the winner. That's so funny. What a small world, right? All right, guys, here we go. This is the next bag. And I'm going to pick a winner. I'm going to close my eyes so you guys know I'm not a cheater. All right. If it's the same person, then like obviously I'll pick like a different winner and stuff. But here we go. Oh God. Congratulations to Z4 Spade Jobber JJ. Jobber JJ is such an active person on my Twitter and like on my stream. So congratulations to Z4 Spade Gamer Jobber JJ. He is the second winner for today. Oh man, I forgot to do the drum roll again. But there you go. Z4 Gamer Jobber JJ is our second winner. Congratulations, dude. All right. And now I'm going to do the last and final winner. Please don't hate me if you didn't win, by the way. Please don't hate me. And I'm putting in the last bag here of names. Last bag is in here. Mixing this up. God, it's a lot of pressure to do a live giveaway. All right, I'm going to close my eyes. And I'm going to pick the third and final winner. My God, these are all stuck together. These are all stuck together. All right, do I have one? Okay, I have one. Who is it? Congratulations to Jim Hayes. Jim Hayes is our third winner. Congratulations, Jim Hayes. I am going to hit all these people up on our MCAS says it's a fix. It's not a fix. I put all the names in here and I closed my eyes. So congratulations to our 3 winners here today. I want to thank you guys all so much for entering. Again, our winners were Matt McNaught 123, which I will hit him up on Twitter. Jim Hayes, who I will also hit up on Twitter, and Z4 Gamer Jobber JJ, who I will also hit up on Twitter. Those are our 3 winners today. I want to thank you guys so much for entering. Thank you so much for and thank you so much for entering and like seriously just like hanging out with me. Like seriously, guys, thank you so much. Do not forget to give this video a like, subscribe to F4W Online. Do not forget to follow me on Twitter or on Instagram @ Denise Salcedo. If you guys had fun doing the show, let me know. Other than that, I will see you guys later. Have a great night. Thank you so much for staying up late and have like awesome dreams. All right.